Welcome to part number 2 of my Seleukid Empire playthrough. This was supposed to be a fairly mellow start for the first 50 years or thereabouts. The game had other ideas. We can loot the former Thracian capital, which I'm assuming has just been gifted to us by the breakup of the Antigonid Empire. It looks as though we got some territories here. Let's go ahead here and get our fleet back to this area, and then I'll just build to the fleet directly. It looks as though there's some Antigonid activities here. The Macedonians and the Antigonids are still at war. Just a bit of time has passed. I moved some pops, Macedonians, I think 7 or 8 down through this corridor here to our would-be capital. I'm not sure how long it's going to stay there, but we have many Macedonians in the area now. Almost a predominance there, but cultural majorities here, and then religious majorities throughout there as well. Building a couple of temples here for religious conversion, as there's a great many Chaldeans. And generally the areas are not particularly happy. Mostly, well, because wrong religion and wrong culture, and also because of our low stability. We'll probably end up putting down a couple of rebellions with mercs. Luckily we have a lot of money, and I plan to keep it that way, hopefully. We can probably raise quite a few levies now over in Macedon. A fair clip, not a lot, not as many as one might expect from all the Macedonianism about, but a fair clip nevertheless, good for garrison work and such. Our research rate is coming up, it's still low. We have a couple of innovations in the bank here. Let's see, we can we would want to make it down this path here to enable our theaters here. Aggressive expansion impact, and then 0.02 there. Maybe just leave that be. I had to break down and build a fleet of Liborians just because we're so spread out here. Mostly the territories are Hellenic, so loyalties won't be terrible. They'll just be sort of bad, at least in theory. Just sort of bad. In a couple of years, we'll be able to change over to the domineering stance and begin integration of our vassals here, but we'll just have to wait. Looks like we picked up a couple of tributaries from the Antigonids. Syria, Mesopotamia, and Cappadocia Taurica. Cappadocia? Well, so far as I can tell, we picked up Komanjin and Bambis, and the rest seem to be what we had previously. But well, could we procure more Macedonians and Macedonian cities here? Should we? Perhaps, but we're not going to. I don't know where these tribesmen are going. I don't really care either. We'll take the money. I'm not even going to look at this loyalty breakup or matrix here. I'll just not look. That's just bad. We have a bountiful harvest here. We can take the money or the stability. I like money. I was thinking on the merits of investing some of our newly found funding into some temples for our cities. As there's going to be a great many more citizens found in these various cities, they'll convert at a lower pace than one might otherwise expect. They'll also get a 0.05 uptick for the loyalty, so it should fend off some of the downtick, although I'm not even going to look again, like I said, because I know that it's going to be really, really bad. These areas are generally sort of Hellenic. I think they have a predominance now, so We just spent all of our horde. Well, we'll leave that be then. We can take 30 PI for 10 corruption. He's a little older. He could last a while. Or we'll just take 15 and be happy. Okay, it looks as though we can start integration here, and it will last until 497, which should beat the day integration, or the day event. I think we can start it here. If there, yeah, we can do that as well. 587. That leaves us a choice as to whether we want to change our status to domineering or to commercial income. Let's check our income level here. Looks as though we get 94 from commerce. Yeah. This thing usually fires around 500, although I would bet that it probably... We can always change it later, as money is always really good to have relative to theaters and temples. It essentially creates loyalty. We could get a 25% national commerce income bonus, as well as make various sorts more happy to be involved with us. Let's see what that did to our income there. 113 or 114. That works. I was also mulling over the idea of redeclaring on one of the Antigonid vassals, or tributaries to be specific, while our Basilius is still alive and we have all of these claims available. Specifically here, there's a wonder that gives 5% unintegrated cultural group happiness, which is anything that's not painted this purplish blue color. We have a lot of it about, really. And there's not really much left of the Antigonids. It's more of their feudatories. So if we declare war here, we end up triggering the Antigonid kingdom. And the Antigonid kingdom has... The tributaries will not respond. So we end up with Byblos here. Aeolia, Knidos, Ionia, Nasiatic League, Megara, and that's it. So essentially here, Aeolia, Ionia is small. We've taken most of that already. The Nasiatic League, well, what can we do? They refuse to stand down on their fleet. Oh, look, they just stood down. I just checked not a moment ago, and they had 73 still. So they have 29. They're paring it down. I was thinking if we got these guys on board our new glorious fleet and then sailed off in this direction toward our would-be war goal, we could, well, let's go right here. We'll go right here and think. Well, we'd want to actually think now, and so we'll have the wheels in motion, ready for the carnage that will ensue. Again, we can't really get at these Antigonids. We can get here, and then Knidos. So we want to have some mercenaries. There's probably, let's see, one here. I'm going to search for the requisite amount of mercenaries. Alright, I've hired some mercs. It looks as though the Antigonid capital is here. This merc is on his way down. I have this merc, fairly fat stack, but only a 7 marshal. I'm going to head him down here and maybe try to siege down this. I have this merc reorganizing. Maybe we'll go to Rhodes and maybe acquire those wonders. We have the siege crew here on our way over to Halicarnassus. And then I'm going to call up some levies in anticipation of our coming war. Probably in Persis again. or Macedonia. We'll call them up as needed. We're going to raise these Persis levies here immediately. They'll take a while to reach the front, but better now than later. And we can probably... Yeah. We have this war exhaustion invoke Devotio going, and we can also call up more levies in Media, which would be here. Let's do that as well. Well, as our leader could die at any moment, I see no reason why we should not declare this war immediately. No negative Malai. We've done it. So we've lost, I think it was 0.08 aggressive expansion tick from being at peace. It's mostly irrelevant. We're at war with Byblos. Maybe he's here or maybe he's off somewhere else. If he does pop, there's nothing really I can do other than raise a levy. He shouldn't be much or shouldn't have many troops available. We have these levies marching over in this direction. So we'll just see what happens with that. We're going to... I've secured access through Macedon and Boeotia to his capital. I'm going to go there. Let's march across this strait here and see about assaulting maybe this fort here, and then we can hire a new merc if needed. And then we're going to march across here as well to the Rhodian capital. We can't do it. Why not? It looks as though there's a fleet in the area. Well, I'm pretty sure the fleet will leave. Who knows, though? It looks as though Rhodes did not answer the call to war, so we'll just go right here to Knidos. Or maybe just... Yeah, we'll assault that fort. Well, we may assault it and then hire another merc over here to deal with Byblos. I'm glad I hired a larger merc stack. We found what must be most of the Antigonid army right here. This Halicarnassus levy is not well commanded, so we're just going to... I'm going to call up the levy here. We have an 8 commander, and then we'll see about dispatching him once our morale gets up to full value. Here's the first battle. We should win. We are winning handily. So that roving levy is no longer so much of an issue. The same is probably true here for the 0 Byblos levy. I'm going to call up a Syrian levy and see really what can be done. This battle didn't really go as well as I had hoped. Somehow we were defeated by a 0. 2 archers. And, the archers got us, I'd imagine. Luckily, we have reinforcements on the way. This is not really working out as per specifications either, really. Let's see, a client state or tributary stops being a tributary, becomes a client state. Why not do it? Why not do it? We're over the limit there, but we don't care. I think we should win this, at least in theory. No, I think we can pull it out. Who knows? It's almost surely a victory. We've done it. We've won the siege of Halicarnassus. That's our war goal. I'm going to head up to this area of the Antigonid Kingdom. Our capital siege goes reasonably well. And this one is about to end as well. We've caught this army out here, so good for us. Stack wipe that Byblos levy. Siege of Knidos is won. I'm going to see about ferrying this merc out to the Nesiotic League. Siege of Ilion here is won. We can... Perhaps we should just wait there. We stack wiped another army. Our fleet, unfortunately, has been defeated. I'm going to take 6 stability for 10 PI. We've dropped the Antigonid capital. Let's see, that should auto-occupy. In theory, we could go... We're here. We dropped another siege. And I'll pick this unit up there. Stack wiped, I think, what is left of the Antigonid army here. Untiring devotion, a 3 stability. We're working our way back up. It looks as though there's a Macedonian revolt, a fairly sizable Taxis, attacking or sieging down the proper Macedonian capital here in Pella. I wonder if we were to attack him and just sort of ferry our troops with our beaten down navy. And speaking of beaten down navy, I should probably build more ships. Let's go ahead here and just sort of get some ships on the way so that we can condense. Maybe some of them get worked over. Or then again, maybe some of them don't. Irrespective of that, how many, let's see. We could declare war here. End up with Athens and Tauroctania. But this area is predominantly Macedonian, so we would certainly have loyalty there and probably add to our levy count. Probably we could move these Macedonians into a city and such, or whatnot, at some point to increase our research rate as well. We could even maybe take out this Tauroctanian city-state friend of his as well. If we close out our war at present, can we get what we want? The Antigonids seem to be agreeable in the extreme almost. There it is. We can take essentially all of this land, the coastal Hellenic territories. We can have the mausoleum at Halicarnassus, this area as well, and take a fairly meager-sized aggressive expansion. Let's do it. And we'll put them all to the quarter. No quarter. We have some imaginary captured prisoners. They're going to disappear immediately. I'm going to stand down the levies. Yeah, I'll stand down all the levies. No, I'll stand down these levies here and leave this one up. Looks as though we have now secured access through this area here. I have access with Thrace, but that could end at the drop of a hat, I suppose. Let's just go by land here, and we'll see about getting this unit here to garrison that. And we'll get this Merc stack here, and then our new Merc here is doing what exactly? He's stuck there. I would have. Yeah, he's stuck. So we'll have him stop here, and we'll have him head up in this direction there. We can't go there anymore because we don't have access here. It looks as though we do have access. Good for me. Let's see if we can build a few more temples around in these areas that need them. Here. Here. Well, we'll leave that be. We're moving toward this would-be front. We have lost our malice or our low research rating. It's at a reasonable rate at 82% now. Our omen is available. I'm going to take the taxes. We don't need the taxes. Take some research points. Why not do it? The Civil War is a thing of beauty. This fellow just took over this Macedonian territory, which means we can now connect, in theory at least, our holdings here with our holdings here and would-be holdings here. I'm going to let him attack even more. He's done it again. There it is. He's taken these 3. That's good enough for me. Our leader is getting older and older. So now I believe is as good a time as any to declare said war. Athens and Ptolemania, the same ones. Here we can take Pelagonia. Let's see. That's the one right there. Let's do it. So he was or is sieging down Pella. Let's stop him from doing that. We'll go up here to this capital. I have this merc ready to invade Athens, which we'll do right now. And you can hopefully make it to this capital area there as well. Our fleet is mostly aggregated here. And there are a few straggler ships that are going to join back up. This battle should be a slaughter. It surely is. We've done it. It looks as though Macedon's allies have beaten us here to the Athenian capital, so maybe we'll just head off, or maybe even disband the Smirk, I'm not sure. Maybe we'll just head up here and wait. We've engaged an Athenian levy and are beating it soundly. Looks as though we should stack wipe that and beat this. We've occupied that. A glorious victory here. And another one there as well. Do we want Bambeast to become a client state? We do. We do. We are 2 over the limit and 20%. Well, what can I do? Our PI, we get a fair clip, but the 20% malice is somewhat painful. Stack wipe that Athenian army. There's a Macedonian army here. It's gone mad. We need to assault these forts, and we can't do it. We're not in command of the siege. I see. I see. Well, we're screwed now, essentially. Perhaps we'll just take what we can get, which is not a lot, really. Unless, of course, we were to declare war on Macedon as well. And let's see what would happen if we were to do any of that, really. If we declare war on Macedon, we lose 40 stability and end up at war with all of his friends. His friends are not very large, they're fairly numerous, but I wouldn't be surprised if they weren't feeling particularly well. As could be said of Macedon, really. What would happen? Truth of the matter is, I don't think a lot. Let's lose the military access, and then we'll declare war on them. Alright, the month has passed. We can declare war on Macedon. I think we'll take over the siege as well, which is very good news for us. There's going to be some carnage, but we'll not really worry. Where can we... let's see, the capital area right there. And it's on. Let's call up a levy right here. For it's a fairly decent sized levy. We'll head up here. And there's some Macedon. I see. I'm going to head the fleet over to this area and pick up Spartakid's mercs from Pydnea. I've mispronounced and butchered these names badly, I'm sure. Irrespective of that, it's going to get done nevertheless. Stack wipe that army right here. We've taken over the siege. A glorious bonanza for us. I'm going to wait for this unit here to lock and then engage him with these mercs. We drop that siege we hijacked. Let's take this guy out here as well. We stack wipe that unit or that group there. What happened here? It's all Macedon again. I called up another small levy here. Let's go and occupy that. As for this guy, he seems content to garrison that territory. He's happy. I'm happy. Called up another small merc or levy. We'll go here and send a levy of Macedonia perhaps down to engage with this group here. On our way down, we'll go here as well. I'm going to let's see if we're still at war here. We're not. I'm glad because I didn't want any of that anyway, which means we can assault this fort and get on with our day. We'll take 300. We dropped a siege here. Let's take the capital. Our fleet is now headed here. We're going to try to invade that territory. We stack wiped an army here, and we look to have engaged. This unit here is locked, so we should dispatch him as well. Unfortunately, we're not particularly well endowed relative to our martial skill. I think we can fix that well enough. This is the guy. That's a 2-man there. Let's see if we can get a bit more martially oriented. Great family man there who's going to inspire some loyalty. We've done it, or she'll do it. Looks as though another stack wipe is on the way here, hopefully. We've beaten that army. Let's go get him as well. Glorious victory. We stack wiped the Asian army here, so there are no enemy forces about here at all. Who are you? Miletos. Looks like we've caught this shattered merc out as well. Stack wiped them. We made another client state here, so let's improve their opinion as well. At some point we should be able to annex them. 6 stability event for 18 gold. Siege of Pella is 1. We'll pay 600 gold. We are going to take a morale hit here. Hopefully we still win these battles. We've done it. I'm going to assault this fort and see what happens. We've done it. I think we can peace out with that. I see a subject. Well, can we peace out with Boeotia? We can. We'll take 5 AE for our trouble, though. Well, we'll do it anyway. We'll give them no quarter. We have more imaginary prisoners. We've caught another Macedonian army out here. We stack wiped them. Breakthrough, boom. So we now have an 82 war score. I was thinking on the merits of piecing out. We mostly occupied everyone except for this power, and we don't really want that to begin with. Theoretically, we could wait for the siege to drop or try to assault it. I'm not holding my breath on that assault bit. Let's see. Let's see what sort of a peace arrangement he'll be willing to give up. We can secure this area. Here. Actually, we can take quite a bit from him. There, there, there. That. Maybe we wait. I'm going to send this merc over here and see about assaulting that fort, maybe. They have arrived. Let's do it. And that is it. So I think Macedon should be near 100% occupied. Let's take this last bit there. And there. And, well, there's nothing really more to do, I suppose. Opus could become a subject. We don't really need another. Although, I think a feudatory is, yeah, wouldn't count for this. So, why not take it? Let's do it. We want Pella happy. And with these, we'll give these guys no quarter. What happened here? Macedon lives on with Corinthos. At some point, I probably want to move my capital to Macedon or Pella. But at this point in time, What is that? Here. We'd have to pay. Although the more pops are here in Pella relative to our present capital, the less we have to pay. I think we can get it down to a minimum of 80 rather easily, provided we don't go crazy and send more and more, ever more pops to Seleukid Megale. These perma-assimilation policies here are going to bear some fruit, as there are not many Macedonians here, and there are more than a few here, so moving the capital at this point in time is not the best of ideas so far as I can tell, and I'll not do it. I'm going to disband the levies, mercs, etc., and see about getting back to peacetime pop shuffling activities and banking money. Maybe, who knows, maybe we can build a wonder. Well, that's about a half an hour in. We'll let some time pass in between episodes, and I hope to see you then.